just a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through, going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet.
G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Ellie and Joel's rendition of Wayfaring Stranger from The Last of Us Part 2. And this is actually performed by Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker. In this lesson, I'll teach you two different ways of playing this song. The first method is going to be a super simple strummed version, and it's great for beginners who are just starting out on the guitar. And the second version is going to be more true to the studio recording with all the licks and fills. For the basics of this song, you'll need a guitar in standard tuning and you'll need a capo on the 3rd fret of your guitar. If you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve in your guitar in general, then check out Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. Alright, let's jump into the lesson. This first method is just really great for the beginners out there who just want to strum and sing along. Now, if you want to play the more difficult version with all the licks and fills, which sounds more true to the original recording, then you can skip to that in the later part of this video. So for this easy version, I'll start off by teaching you a nice and easy intro that you can use. So we'll start with an E minor chord shape, and we're going to start by arpeggiating this. And what that means is that you'll just pluck each string one at a time. So then you'll hold that out, and then we'll do an up strum. And then on the very next down strum, you're going to use your free ring finger here to hit the 3rd fret of the 6th string. And we hold on to that. So, and then we get into our intro chords, which is just 2 bars of E minor. So our strumming pattern here is going to go something like this. Down, 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 up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And we're going to play that E minor for 2 of those. So the intro will just sound like this. Next we get to the verse, which is just 2 lines of chords. So we stay on our E minor and we're going to play that for 2 bars. And then we go to an A minor 7. So from the E minor, keep your middle finger where it is and take your index finger to the 1st fret of the 2nd string. And with this A minor 7, we're only strumming from the 5th string onwards. We're going to strum that for 1 strumming pattern, then we go to a B7, which looks like this. So middle, ring, and pinky finger on the 2nd frets of the 5th, 3rd, and 1st string, and your index finger goes on the 1st fret of the 4th string. So it's at B7. We're going to strum that for 1 full strumming pattern as well. For our second line of chords, it's 2 E minors, and then we have an A minor 7 and a B7 contained within 1 bar. Now for that 1 bar, each of those chords is just going to be strummed with a down, 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 up. So the A7 and the B7 here in the second line of chords. And then we end with another E minor for 1 full strumming pattern again. That's it for the easy verse, which sounds like this. Next we get to the chorus, which is just 1 line of chords. We're going to play a C chord. We're going to strum that for 1 full strumming pattern. Then we go to a G. Back to a C. And finally we end with a B7. So the chorus. The next part to learn is the post-chorus. So this happens after every chorus except for Joel's chorus. So we just have E minor for 2 strumming patterns, Then we have our A minor 7 and B7 contained within the one bar. So that's the shorter A minor 7 and B7. And then we play 2 more full E minor strumming patterns. So the post-chorus. Now the only other thing we need to learn is the outro. So this happens after Joel's final chorus. It's basically the second line of chords of the verse played through twice, and then the second line of chords we end with just the A minor 7 and then the B7. And that's everything for the easy version of this song. If you want to see it all in context, then skip to the playthrough at the end of this video. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you the harder version, which is closer to the original studio recording. Now I will note that the original studio recording is played with a very freestyle sort of feel, so no two verses are identical to one another, but I will try to simplify it as much as possible so it's close to the original recording but easy to follow and understand. So let's start with the intro, and we're just going to play an E minor chord, and we're just going to start by arpeggiating it, so pluck each string one at a time, like that. And then we're gonna do an up strum, and then quickly right after that, take your free ring finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and you can slightly bend it. And that will take us into the light strumming. Next we move on to the second line of tab, and we're gonna stay on this E minor chord, and we're gonna start with some light strumming and adding some licks. Now there's 2 different things to consider when we're playing the chords and we're doing this light strumming. The first is the rhythmic direction, which is quite important. And that's basically the strumming direction that you're playing. And the second thing to consider are the notes that we want to target out of the chord to make it sound closer to the original. So I'll start by focusing on rhythmic direction because that's easier, and then we can talk about the notes that you want to target. So for this first bar, I'm going to break it up into a strumming section and then a little lick at the end. So the first strumming section, the pattern goes down, 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 up, down. The other thing we want to do is also lift our index and middle finger, and on the 3rd down strum, hammer them into place. So down, 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 up, down. And then the little lick afterwards is a quick 2 plucks. So what we're going to do is we're going to pluck the 2nd fret of the 5th string and pull that off, and then with your ring finger hit the 3rd fret. So the little lick at the end, we put the strumming and the lick together, and this is how it sounds. So you can see I was just focusing more on the rhythmic direction rather than targeting the exact notes. But if you want to make your playing a little bit more intricate and closer to the studio recording, then you can follow the tab which show the strings that you should target on each of those strums. You don't have to be 100% precise, but if you focus on the notes below, that will give you that more intimate feel that's in the studio recording. So if I was to target these notes, it would sound like this. But note that the rhythmic direction doesn't change. So it would sound like this. But if I was to just ignore targeting those notes and strum the chord like normal, so if you're a beginner and learning this, I would just focus on rhythmic direction first, and then you can get more advanced and target specific notes later on. For the second bar of E minor, our strumming pattern is a little bit different. It goes down, 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 up. And then our lick is open 6th and 3rd fret of 6th string. Note how we are still doing that hammer on the 3rd down strum. And all together. So that's it for the intro, which will sound like this. Now I'm going to focus on targeting the notes, but note that rhythmic direction is probably more important. So don't think that you have to hit the exact notes that are shown in the tab. Next we move on to the verse, which has 4 lines of tab here. So we're going to continue on with this E minor. Now our strumming portion is going to go down, 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 up, and that's it for the rhythmic portion. Note that we hammer on the second down strum here. Now the little lick in this first bar is us lifting our index finger. We're going to hit the open 5th string, hammer it on, and then hit the open 5th string, and then back onto the 2nd fret. I'm going to pluck that again. So the lick and together. Notice how the lick is played very shortly after the last up strum. Moving on to the next bar, our rhythmic direction goes down, 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 up, down, down, up. And then our little lick is just the open 5th string and hammer on with our index. So the second bar. And the first line of tab in total. We go to an A minor 7 for the second line of tab. Our rhythmic direction is down, up. We're going to be targeting the open 5th string, the 4th string, and then on the next down strum, we're actually going to hit the open 2nd string and hammer on, and the final up strum is just on the 3rd string. So the A minor 7. Then we're going to go to a B7 sus4. So index finger bars across the 2nd fret from the 5th string onwards, ring finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string, and pinky finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Our rhythmic direction is going to be down, up, down, down. And on the final down strum, move your pinky finger down to a B7 and strum that. So the B7. And then our lick at the end is just our 2nd fret, pull off, and then 3rd fret of the 6th string. So the second line of tab in total. The third line of tab is identical to the first line of tab, so we've already learnt that. Now when we get to the 4th line of tab, our A minor 7 and B7 are actually squished into 1 bar as opposed to stretched out across 2 bars. So our A minor 7 is basically the same as our previous A minor 7, so down, up, up. But then we go to our B7 and we're just going to play the regular B7 by itself, and the rhythmic direction is down, down, up. So all together. Then for the final bar we go back to an E minor, and the rhythmic direction is down, 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 up. And the lick at the end is open 4th string, pluck that, hammer on with your middle finger, lift it, hit the open 4th string, and then, so the lick, and the bar in total. Down, down, up. Again, rhythmic direction is more important when you're starting out, so just focus on that and then adding the lick at the end. Then when you get good at that, then you can target the individual notes that are shown in the tab. So all together for the verse. Next we get to the chorus, which is 2 lines of tab. Now we're going to start with a C chord here. Now our rhythmic direction is going to go down, 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 up. But on the second down strum, what we can do is lift our middle finger and hammer that into place on that second down strum. So rhythmic direction. And for our lick, we're going to lift our middle finger, pluck the open 4th string and hammer it into place. then lift it, pluck the open 4th string, and then end with the bass note. So the lick, and in total. Then we go to a G chord. Now a rhythmic direction here is down, 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 up, up, up. And then our lick is the open 5th string, hammer on with our index, and then an open 4th string. So all together. But if we want to target individual notes, what we can do is play the notes that you can see in the tab. And on the 3rd down strum, you can actually hit the open 5th string and hammer onto the 2nd. So if I'm targeting notes, for the 2nd line of tab, our C is identical to the 1st line of tab, so we've already learnt that. For the 2nd bar, we then go to a B7, and we're just going to arpeggiate this. So 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and the lick at the end is open 5th string, hammering on to the 2nd, open 5th string, and then 3rd fret of the 6th. So the final bar. And that's it for the chorus, which sounds like this. Next we get to the post-chorus, and this is just comprised of parts that we've already learned. So the 1st line of tab is just the same as the 1st line of tab in the verse. Now for the 2nd line of tab, this A minor 7 to B7 is the same as the A minor 7 to B7 in the verse in the 3rd line of tab. So we've already learnt that. And then the next 2 bars of E minor are just the same as the 2 bars of E minor in the intro. So again, this is all comprised of parts we've already learnt. So the post-chorus will sound like this. Now Ellie does a whole nother run through of another verse, chorus, and post-chorus, and then it's Joel's turn to chime in. Now with Joel, he plays a verse, a chorus, and then we go to the outro. Now with the outro, there's 5 lines of tab here. So for the 1st line of tab, it's the same as the 1st line of tab for the verse, so nothing new to learn there. For the 2nd line of tab, the A minor 7 and the B7 bar, we've already learnt that as well. That's the same as the 3rd line of tab in the verse. After that bar, we go back to an E minor, and that's just the same rhythmic direction and lick as the 1st bar of this outro. The 3rd line of tab is the same as the 1st line of tab, and then the 4th line of tab is basically the same as the 2nd line of tab. The only difference is for this final E minor, we're just going to end it with a down, 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 up, and then hold that out. And then for the 5th line of tab, we're just going to strum it in an A minor 7, and then a B7, and that's the end of the song. So again, the outro is just comprised of parts that we've already learned. If you want to see it in full context, then head to the playthrough at the end of this lesson. So those are all the parts. Again, I do want to just note that rhythmic direction is more important than trying to hit each note that you see in the tab exactly as it is. Once you get the rhythmic direction down, then you can focus on hitting individual strings and getting that really intimate sort of sound. So now I'll be doing 2 playthroughs of this song. The first playthrough is going to be the harder version with all the licks and fills, and the second playthrough will be the super simple strummed version for the beginners out there. Feel free to play these back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Just a boy, wayfaring stranger, traveling through just a going over home. I know dark clouds will gather round me. I know my way is rough and steep, but beauteous fields lie just before me, where gods redeem their vigils keep. I'm going there to see my Father. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home.
I'll soon be free from earthly trials. This body rests in the old churchyard. I'll drop this cross of self-denial and go sing home to God. I'm going there to see my Savior. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home.
I'm just a going over Jordan.
I'm just a
going over home.
I'm just a going.
I'm just a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woes. There is no sickness, no toil nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I know dark clouds will gather round me. I know my way is rough and steep, but beauty
from earthly trials. This body rests in the old churchyard. I'll drop this cross of self-denial and go sing home to God. I'm going there to see my Savior. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I'm just a going.
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.